Hey everyone, welcome back to Gym World. I hope you're all doing great. Let's dive into a hot topic, SAMSON DAUDA. With just 4.5 weeks to go until the Mr. Olympia, he dropped this insane physique update yesterday. Now, let's set aside any filters or enhancements for a moment. The changes are truly remarkable, especially in his legs, chest, arms, and abs. It seems like he's been putting a lot of emphasis on his legs. Perhaps one of the best decisions SAMSON made was to skip the Oxygen gym in Kuwait and stay in England. Training under the guidance of his wife, they've created a personalized program together. And look at those results. Remember when he was in front of that magic mirror at Oxygen gym? His wife has been his coach, strictly controlling his diet. If he were still at Oxygen, they wouldn't have that level of control over his meals. Now, with her by his side, he's got someone to both train and feed him. She's keeping a close eye on him and making sure he doesn't make any mistakes. I think SAMSON has made incredible progress. Even compared to his time with Milos Sarcev, he's leveled up significantly. As you know, he beat Nick Walker at the 2023 Arnold Classic and has achieved many other titles with Milos. However, he believes he can do even better with his wife as his coach. In this update, he talks about the intense pressure he's under, the hard work he's putting in, and the numerous cardio and training sessions he's doing. All of this is taking a toll on his energy levels. Alright, guys, let's break down this footage of Derek Lunsford right after his chest workout with Hadi Choopan. This was just 5 weeks out from the 2023 Mr. Olympia, and they were training without their coach, Haney Rambid. So, you're actually getting a behind-the-scenes look at a conversation between Haney, Hadi, and Derek right before one of the biggest competitions in bodybuilding. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, is it a good idea for Hadi Choopan and Derek Lunsford to train together? Some fans think it's a bad idea because Derek can see Hadi's strengths and weaknesses up close. But let's be real, it's a two-way street. If Derek's learning from Hadi, then Hadi is learning from Derek. I don't think there's any reason for them to hide their training from each other. Why not learn from each other? And let's not forget, it's good for business too. With both of them being part of the Evigen team and coached by Haney, it makes sense for them to train together. It's a win-win for everyone involved. But what about their physiques? Hadi came into the Arnold Classic looking absolutely incredible. But we'll have to wait and see how he looks at the Olympia. As for Derek, he's looking super motivated to reclaim his title. He even signed an autograph at the NPC headquarters in Pittsburgh and said he's going to replace that photo with a new one this year. That's definitely a challenge to Hadi. Derek also did an interview with NPC President Jim Manion, and we can expect that to drop soon. I'll keep you updated on that. Overall, Derek's looking really strong, especially in his lat spread. He's definitely going to be a tough competitor this year. So, what do you guys think? Is Derek going to reclaim his title? Or will Hadi Choopan come out on top? Let me know in the comments below. Alright, let's dive into this incredible update on Martin Fitzwater. Just look at the physique this guy has been building. It's no secret that after a very close loss to Nick Walker at the New York Pro, Martin's been hitting the weights hard. He's promised to come back at least 6 pounds heavier and in even better condition. I mean, seriously, look at this guy. He's got a fantastically narrow waist, insane quads, and his legs are just chef's kiss. A lot of people have been comparing his physique to the legendary Phil Heath. And I gotta say, I can see the similarities in terms of his structure. But let's be real, he's still got a long way to go before he's in the same league as Phil. Now, here's a burning question. Can Martin Fitzwater take down Hunter Labrada? That's a matchup we need to see. Before we dive deep into Nick Walker, don't forget to hit that like button and leave a comment. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And don't forget to check out that amazing ultimate update photos from Mohamed Fouda at the end of this video. They're seriously inspiring. Now, let's talk about Nick Walker. The man, the myth, the legend. We all love Nick, right? But lately, he's been a bit under the radar. With all the talk about him possibly not even placing in the top 5 at the upcoming competition, Nick's been pretty quiet. He's actually a bit upset about all the negativity and has decided to let his performance do the talking. Remember that Mr. Olympia Lats battle? Nick called out Derek Lunsford and absolutely crushed it. I mean, he looked insane. And if you recall, Nick's best shape was actually after the competition. That's the same physique that won him the 2021 Arnold Classic. A lot of people think if Nick can bring that same condition, but with even better symmetry and a smaller waist, he's definitely a top 5 contender. And that's exactly what he thinks too. So, what do you guys think? If Nick doesn't place in the top 5, will it be a huge setback for him or his team? Let me know in the comments below. And it is time to take a look at Ramon Dino. This guy is seriously shredded. His physique is absolutely stage ready, with exceptional skin quality and overall conditioning. But here's the thing, Ramon can't afford to pack on too much muscle in the off-season. Because he's got to make weight for Mr. Olympia. So he's always walking that fine line between size and definition. I anticipate Ramon to be a formidable opponent for Chris Bumstead in the upcoming competition. What do you guys think? Can Ramon take the top spot? Personally, while he is a strong contender, I believe Bumstead may retain his title. But it's going to be a close one. And Chris Bumstead finally dropped his full video last night. As I predicted in my previous videos, it was pretty obvious that he was going to use this as a huge platform to promote his new business venture. And guess what? He did just that. Chris has officially partnered with Gymshark as an investor. That's right, he's now part owner of one of the biggest fitness apparel brands out there. For those of you who might not know, Gymshark is a UK-based company that was one of the first to really make a splash in the fitness fashion world. They've come a long way since their early days, and Ryan Terry was actually one of their first athletes. Fun fact, Gymshark sponsored Chris a few years back, but now he's a part of the family. It's a win-win for both Chris and Gymshark. Now, Chris is the most recognized bodybuilder in the classic physique division. It just made sense that he'd want to get into business. I mean, the guy is not one to seek the spotlight. He's more of an introvert. He's said it himself multiple times that he prefers spending time with his close circle. I think that's why we haven't seen him jump into acting like a lot of other bodybuilders. And about the latest update from Michael DeBull. You know, he's been giving us some serious classic physique goals lately. As you might remember, he's been prepping hard at Oxygen Gym. And get this, in his most recent post, he revealed that for the first time during this prep, he's dropped below 100 kilos. That's huge, considering he's been hovering above that mark for the entire prep. With Olympia just a month away, he's getting closer and closer to his target weight. Now, we all know that bodies tend to get a bit smaller as they get leaner, but even so, Michael looks denser and more conditioned than ever before. With the recent withdrawal of Rafael Brandao, you'd think Michael's path to the top 5 would be smoother. But don't count out Wesley Vissers. He's a new contender who's definitely got what it takes to crack the top 5. And let's not forget about
Big Ronnie SBA.
He's been packing on some serious size in the off-season. If he comes in even leaner than last year, he could give Michael a run for his money. After all, he's beaten Michael before and has the potential to do it again. Then there's Steph. I mean, this guy is always a wild card. His conditioning is always on point, but he's been surprisingly quiet about his Olympia prep. It's unusual for him not to be posting weekly updates. In fact, his last update was over a month ago. I wonder if he and Patrick are struggling to make weight for the show. So, what do you guys think? Is Michael going to take home the top prize this year? Or will one of these other athletes steal the show? Let me know in the comments. So, some big news has dropped in the bodybuilding world. Tonio Burton has pulled out of this year's Mr. Olympia. Yes, you heard that right. Tonio, who was really hyping up his rivalry with his competitors, has decided to step away from the biggest stage in bodybuilding. Apparently, he and his coach, Justin Jacobys, felt he just didn't have enough time to get into the condition they wanted. And with all the shows he's done this year, his body was feeling the strain. So, to prioritize his health, he made the tough decision to withdraw. Last year, Tonio came in 8th at the Olympia. And honestly, even if he did compete this year, his chances of improving on that placing were pretty slim. He still needs to pack on some serious size. His conditioning is great, but he needs more mass. It would have been a really interesting matchup between him and Rafael Brandao, especially after Rafael's win at the Arnold Classic Brazil. Tonio definitely felt he was the better man, and they had a pretty heated back and forth on social media. Now, here's a crazy stat for you. Out of the top 16 finishers at last year's Olympia, 7 of them won't be competing this year. That's a huge turnover. And out of those 7, Tonio was the only one who had qualified. If you're curious, here's the list: Michael Criscolo, Tonio Burton, Reagan Grimes, Griffin, Hassan Mostafa, Justin Shear, and Phil Heath. Andrea Presti, who finished 12th, and Roman Fritz, who was 14th, are still in the running. We'll have to see how they do at the British Pro to see if they can qualify. Roman's participation is still up in the air, but Andrea is definitely competing. So, out of the top 17 finishers last year, only 7 are definitely competing again. 2 are still undecided, and 8 are out. Despite all these changes, this year's Olympia is shaping up to be one of the most stacked in years. Let's finish today's Gym World with the latest update on Mohamed Fouda. With just 30 days left until the Olympia, Fouda is maintaining his size but gradually cutting down. He's aiming for a stage-ready physique with minimal loss and maximum density. As he mentioned in the caption, they're taking a cautious approach and plan to bring an even better conditioned body to the Olympia. However, it's a risky strategy with so little time left. If you look at his rear lat spread, the details are a bit lacking. The front view is better, but the back is pretty flat. Interestingly, his young protege, Martin Fitzwater, is facing a similar situation. He's packed on a lot more size, but the conditioning isn't quite there yet. It seems like Steven, presumably their coach, has a plan to maximize their size, but there's a risk they won't peak at 100% with such a short time frame. Martin's mental state seems a bit different from Fouda's. Both are under pressure, but as Egypt's sole representative, the expectations for Fouda are sky high. Many in his home country see him as the next big thing. So, let's wait and see what version of these athletes Steven brings to the Olympia stage. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Gym World. If you have any fitness-related questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.